Gotta make sure I select the right bloomin' microphone in OBS when I do this. Welcome to Surfers Paradise Raceway, the 5th round of the Australian Touring Car Championship Velocity Racing League. We have just finished up qualifying a moment ago, and these are the results. So Alex McEwen and Sam Sargason got to start on the front row together, so with the Dynamic Kigi just behind. Bit of a change up because this track is quite high downforce, and it punches the tyres a fair bit. So the scales have been tipped a bit in terms of which cars are going to be strongest around here. You can see the line up there as the VLs. The first VL is in the 3rd row, that's Paddy Donnelly, as we now get ready for the start of this race. Keep an eye on the front row here. See this Sargason on the outside there. We've got 2 minutes to the start. Let's just take a quick look at we'll take a quick look at our championship standings. Stunner Cicluna leading the way, 675 points. 663 is Paddy Donnelly in second, and Donnelly starts 5th as aforementioned, and Cicluna in 4th. So still can't split them. Cicluna and Donnelly, those are the 2 championship protagonists, with Jack Callister on 573 points a fair way back. Harry Keel, Arisaka, Mello, Fando, Smith, Sargason and McEwen are your top 10 in the standings, and McEwen's gonna, I imagine, have a strong finish with Lakeside Norrin Park coming up. As well as this one, which he starts on the front row, did an 11-1 in practice. And in qualifying just now, he's done an 11.6, so which was 2/10 clear, or 1.5 to 2/10 clear of the rest of the field. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Ben Wiley. He starts 17th. Lights coming on. We're away at Surfers. It's a good launch from McEwen, and Sargason didn't get a good launch at all and has been swamped by the other R31 of Cicluna, and then Donnelly slipped past as well up into 3rd. The Toyota has not done very well off the line. That's well off. That's Jack Meredith in the background at the first corner. Extremely fast first corner. We'd expect a couple to fall off the track on this first lap for sure. In fact, the Toyota's 13th. So that's the one that started. McKeague started in 3rd and has dropped 10 positions off the line. There's a couple of cars well off wide. There's the Mustang of Williams, and there's another car as well. I think that might have been McKeague. Yeah, it is. As we watch Donnelly and Cicluna, it's a tight little section at the top of the track, this one. But McEwen leads from the pole. Across the line he comes. Now it's not letting me change my... That's the one I want. Intervals, there you go. So you can see how close everyone is to each other on the track. McEwen from Donnelly Cicluna just behind then Suggason. He's actually, after the shocking start, he's still holding on to these two. McEwen's starting to open a gap at the front. Mello behind then Fergs, who's done pretty well. Gives you a good chance to see what the track's like, because it's a track that not many would be familiar with unless you're around at this time. Closed down late 1980s. Who was that off the road? Will Lambeth was well off and drops a few positions out of that. We'll go back to the front because Donnelly and Cicluna are right up near one another. There you go, and a decent train of cars starting to form as well, with Mello hitching a ride at the back. And the main straight. Who's that? He's gone well off to the right hand side of the road. Might have been Elliot. Maybe to break the toe, not sure. Oh, maybe Fergs. But anyway. $250, 60k races, as is usual, with the second one being reverse grid. Here's Donnelly and Cicluna. Cicluna's gotten ahead. Well out wide, lost the back end of the car, and that gave enough space for Suggason to slip through up into third. Good run from him. Paddy Donnelly might be about to grab that back. No, not quite. It's not quite as nimble. As the R31 swoops around the outside, Mello's now napping at the heels as well. Nipping at the heels, even. It's a three-way battle for third at the moment, and ahead it's about 2.8 seconds between first and second and third. Run right out to the grass either side of the track there, all the way up to that little tyre bundle, the attenuator. It's not the pit entry, but it leads eventually to that. Different lines some of these cars have to take. You can see the huge amount of sweeping corners, and with 26 degree temperatures as well, it's not doing especially the VRL Commodores any favours. Out wide is Sargason, but manages to hold on to the position for now. Donnelly is still holding there very closely. Right on the bumper. Can't have a go here, it's very fast this last corner. Mello's got a better exit. He's going to get into the slipstream, move over to the right hand side. Chance for a pass. It's a fast first corner as well, so you want to be careful about this. He's not far enough up, I don't think. Oh, they've bumped into one another, and well, they've both managed to gather it up and continue on. So Gason's going to pull ahead a bit more, but Mello tried it. It was a bit ambitious, but at least they're both pointing in the right direction by the end of it. In the background there, you can see there's a big battle pack with Spivey, Lambeth, Callister, Elliott in there. Watch them as they come through. Lambeth was all out of shape, but Callister and Elliott are too busy fighting amongst themselves to take advantage of that. And now Hill's going to slide up the inside of Elliott. Driving the same car as the race leader is. And the BMWs are going alright, it seems, as well. So the first three rounds were dominated by the R31s, the VLs as well. But starting to get some different manufacturers as we get into different sorts of tracks. We've got Calder in 2 weeks, which will be back to the status quo, I guess. But after that, Lakeside Norrin Park. Anyone's game. Holden's 8, 9, 10. Not a grass. Lambeth well out onto the grass. It's a couple of times he's been out there. That particular corner. Callister tried to look around the outside and couldn't quite make it stick. So the dogleg section means that Lambeth can maintain his advantage. 9th place he stands at the moment. Callister behind, Hill and Elliott as well. And it's 4 seconds back to Mike Crick, who's doing quite well for himself actually, in 13th. Jonas Molnar in 14th. Jack Meredith, who, well, we saw him off at the first corner. He sits 15th. Ricky Satria in the Rover in 16th. And Chris Bradley, Dana McKeague, started 3rd. Has had a particularly great run out of it. As Lambeth slides up the inside of Max Spivey. Those tyres are starting to go. Just ahead, Phil Fergs is about 7 tenths behind Riley Smith. Look at the wheel work, you can see it from the external cameras. How much Spivey's having to fight that car. Jack Callister's right there ready to pounce. So is Hill. Up the inside goes Callister, and Hill's going to force his way through as well. So 2 positions gone out of a poor exit. But the VRL's going to pull away on the straights. And that Volvo's there as well, so the BMW is going to slide back up the inside of Spivey, who was wide at the first corner. Could be a move on here for Elliott. No, too far back. Smart choice. There you are, gets the exit he desires. Backs out of it before turn 3. Leaped off the curb, did Max Spivey there, and kind of parked in the middle, so John Elliott couldn't get past either. Over the curbs now, into the high downforce part again. That's a car off to the right, that's Jack Meredith. He's clearly having one of those races. Further up ahead, Will Lambeth is now on the back of Phil Fergs, and Riley Smith is there as well. So the train is forming once again, with Smith now at the head of it. It's been elongated slightly. Phil Fergs is waiting there as well in the BMW. Decent round for the Bimmers. McEwen is 2.2 seconds his lead over Cicluna. Sargason 5 seconds behind now. There's a fair... Oh dear me. There's a fair bit of lag going on. They got that all sorted now. Lucky nothing much came of it, because it looked like Phil Fergs was going to end up in the back of Riley Smith there. Lambeth looking down the inside, and he's been turned as a result of that contact. But will still hold on to 10th place just ahead of Max Spivey. 1.1 seconds is his gap now to Hill. Oh, that Spivey ran in the background. I wonder if he's done that on his own or with contact. He's trying to get it going again. And the car's crabbing all over the place as he gets the power back down. Smith from Fergs, although maybe not for much longer. Is Phil Fergs going to try and run it all the way around the outside? It's a long corner, this. Is he going to make it work? There's a bit of biffing and barging. And he is going to make it work. So Riley Smith gets pushed out wide and has lost 3 positions out of that. Now Callister wants a piece of Fergs. Up the inside. Can't quite make it work. Hill's there as well. BMW is running nose to tail. Callister's going to pull away, and look at the speed of the VRL compared to the ball. That's Riley Smith, who jumps them all back up into 6th place. Yeah, fun times at Calder. what's happened there with Phil Fergs? He must have gotten into the side of Jack Callister. They're both off the road. And have now rejoined in 10th and 11th. Here's Josh Hill on the back of Will Lambeth. Chance for a move. Nah, he's got a poor exit of the power of the VRL will absolutely dominate down this straight. Oh, look at the amount of opposite lock he's had to put on there. He was having a peek at Will Lambeth, but and here he goes, got the exit down the straight. Going to be able to hold for long enough. Oh, he's still going to have the inside line. There's a lapped car ahead. So it's Vince Mangin. And Chris Bradley's there as well. And they're involved in a pretty tight battle actually, towards the back end of the field. Actually, just look at this big pack of cars trying to get through the traffic. Trying not to lose positions to each other as well. John Elliott had a bit of a moment with Phil Fergs looking up his inside. Now it's Callister and Fergs side by side. Fergs going to take the position up into 10th for him. And Elliott's right there. He's over 9th place. It's lap 17. There's been some crazy battles in this top end of the midfield. Or bottom end of the top field. Whichever you prefer. Distance between bumpers there is minuscule as Josh Hill goes up the inside. Going to grab the position back. Now through the last corner. We'll see if he can get a good enough run. Riley Smith was out well out into the grass. Trying to break the toe. And here's Smith looking to the outside. He's not going to have enough of a runner. I think Josh Hill's got the position. Car off the road there. That was Phil Fergs in the BMW. So he's dropped a couple of positions as a result of that. Jack Callister is looking on Elliott as well. And Fergs really struggling because he's off for the second corner in a row. Alex McEwen leads from Daniel Cicluna, Sam Sargason, Paddy Donnelly, Nick Mello, Josh Hill, followed by Smith, Lambeth, Elliot Callister, Fergs, Molnar, and then Crick, Spivey, McKeague, Satria, Bradley, Williams, Mangin, and Meredith are your 20 as we begin the final lap. Battle goes on with Riley Smith powering past. Around the outside. Gonna hold on to it. And there's now one more chance for Josh Hill to try and get up into 6th place. Will Lambeth is there as well. Let's check Meredith off the inside. Oh, Paddy Donnelly's right on the back of Nick Mello as well, but your race winner, Alex McEwen, coming around the last corner. Across the line he comes, he wins the first race at Surfers Paradise. Maybe a dark horse in the championship. Is it too big of a gap to overcome? Who knows? Well, we've got to watch Paddy Donnelly and Nick Mello down the main straight here. There's not going to get close to one another. And then this battle for 6th place, which has been stretching on for much of the second half of the race. Riley Smith, has he got it from Josh Hill? It looks like he has. Will Lambeth, will he switch to the inside and be able to beat him to the line? Not quite, by 0.08 of a second. Jack Callister, John Elliott, and Phil Fergs behind. Then it's Giannis Molnar, Mike Crick, followed by Max Spivey and a Dynamic Key. Although that battle's not quite resolved yet. Okay, it will be now, because the VRL will streak away down the main straight, you'd imagine. So that's the end of race 1. There's still another one to come. So race 2 comes up in about 5 minutes or so. From the pole will be... We'll find out here. Ben Wiley will start from the pole. Jack Meredith alongside. Then Mangin, Chris Bradley, Ronald Williams, Ricky Satria. Followed by Adana McKee, Max Spivey, Mike Crick, etc, etc. And Alex McEwen will start from the back. Full reverse grid. But it's only a 21 car field tonight, which I guess makes things a bit easier. I'll return shortly with the second race. Alright, almost set to go for race 10 of the championship. How about 2 Holdens on the front row, followed by, with the skyline behind. It's one of those rounds. Good to have your company. Full reverse grid, of course, here at Surfers Paradise, the second race. And starting from the front row is Ben Wiley, followed by Jack Meredith. On the outside, Vince Mangian and Chris Bradley are on the second row. And the third row consists of Ronald Williams, Ricky Satria. Okay then, here come the lights. We're away. Coming through the middle is Vince Mangian. He's going to get past Wiley, but it's going to be Jack Meredith that leads them down towards the first corner. Wiley's going to grab the position back. Mangian there on the outside. There's cars off at turn 1. Similar to the first race. Mike Crick and Phil Fergs are 2 that I can see. But your order right now is Meredith, Wiley, Bradley, Mangian, then Williams, Callister, wow, and Donnelly as well, who just managed to slice their way through. Alex McEwen's up into 9th. Look at this big pack of cars. 2 by 2 for a fair way back through the field. And still holding there. Oh, there's a big dive on from Ronald Williams, and he's ended up just turning himself around. Dived up the inside of Mangian, who has also gone off himself. And look at this, as Donnelly slides past, up into 4th. Riley Smith there as well, Mello, Callister, Sargason. Smith's actually going to grab 4th through the first corner. Here's Sargason, on the inside of Jack Callister. 7th for him. Battle on at the front as Wiley and Meredith battle for the time being while everyone else catches up. Riley Smith already up into 4th. Seems the reverse grid effect hasn't had an enormous effect at this round. Although John Elliott's still 16th, and who's the other one that I saw before? So Cluner and McEwen are still hovering around the top 10. Chris Bradley is passed by Riley Smith. There's a large train of cars queuing up, ready to try and make their moves as well. McEwen is ahead of Cicluna, but only by 2/10. You can see it there. They're actually side by side as they come through. Top of the course. Callister's just in front as well, so Cicluna remains ahead of McEwen. Well out wide is Ben Wiley from the lead of the race. Now Jack Meredith and Riley Smith are going to be duking it out. Here comes Riley up the inside. Bumps Meredith wide. Donnelly's there as well as they roar down the main straight. VL Commodore 1, 2, 3 as they enter the fourth lap. And Jack Meredith all out of shape, and he's well out wide. Trying to get it going again in the 7th. 8th. Cicluna's going to try and dive the inside. They're 3 abreast through turn 3. And Cicluna's got them both. That was a brilliant move. Callister's now going to try his hand up into 6th. Paddy Donnelly's gotten past Riley Smith towards the front. And Mello sits in 3rd. Oh, safety car. Oh, yeah, because there's a big crash in the midfield there with Jack Meredith and Josh Hill. It's coming in front of the pack, and the safety car's been called out. Is there a ping check? I've only got 67 for him. Oh, I can see that. He's warping around a little bit, so... Is that what caused the accident? Perhaps so. As country internet strikes again. Paddy Donnelly leads the race under safety car. Come underneath the Dunlop Bridge. Field's still too close together, I reckon, for a VL to try and put on some fresh tyres, or any of the cars that have problems with tyre wear. Like, I think, yeah, any of the heavy cars. It sounded like an aeroplane, that safety car. Here's your order. Donnelly, Smith, Mello, Sargason, Cicluna. Then Callister, McEwen, Ferg, Spivey, Bradley, McKee. Followed by Wiley, Elliott, Satria, Meredith, Lambeth, Crick, Hill, Williams, Mangian. Brings up the rear, so... Once again, those same cars put on some good racing, as they did in the first race. And we'll see how it evolves from there. Janos Molnar is unlapping the field. Unlapping himself. Going past the field. And we're going to get a restart at the end of this lap. Nice, quick, effective, like it. Paddy Donnelly leads the race from Riley Smith, Nick Mello in third. Time to get those tyres warmed up. At the end of this lap we will be racing once more. Safety car hums along. The Dodge Monaco. Safety car lights out, so away he goes. And we're going to get a restart here. Paddy Donnelly has control of the field and he will be able to get going very shortly. Green flag signal has not yet been given. They're rounding the second last corner. There we go. Paddy Donnelly still holding him. And he's gone now, so Riley Smith in the background. There's car off. That is Bakigi, who is been spun round on the restart. Chance for some cheap positions potentially. Cicluna up the inside of Mello, runs it out wide on the exit and loses 2 out of that. 3 even. Jack Callister as well. Now Alex McEwen is right there on the bumper, rubbing against it. It's a pretty strong car, that Volvo, at one of these tracks. Now looks up the inside, Cicluna on the outside. Through the little right-left flick. Big train forming behind Riley Smith at the front. And Paddy Donnelly starting to pull away. A second is the gap, 1 lap after the restart. Mello on the outside, Sargason on the inside. Now Sargason looking at Riley Smith for second position. Mello wants to go. Can't quite get far enough. Riley Smith is struggling in the middle of it and Mello's going to jump up into third. And Smith subsequently takes that back with Cicluna now looking on Mello. Can't take your eyes off this fight towards the top end of the field. And McEwen's in the party as well. He's up the inside of Mello. Into 5th place. Well, that wide there, that's Max Spivey in the background. as he tries to cling onto this train. Phil Fergus is at the back of it too. McEwen's starting to make his way up the field. He's in 5th at the moment and looking at Scicluna. Oh, slight amount of oversteer. Now Scicluna looking around the outside of Riley Smith. Absolutely nothing given. None at all. Still side by side, and McEwen's going to try and get past. He's got past one car. Up into 4th. Have a chance at Riley Smith here. Sargason's starting to pull away as well. And look at this, side by side, and Nick Bello and Jack Callister are going at it too, just behind. Riley Smith has got a lot on his plate, having to defend from these 4 cars. But Paddy Donnelly leads the race, out at the front, with a margin that is growing. It's Scicluna forcing his way up the inside, and Alex McEwen trying to hold the door open. A little bit of a slide. If you can get the exit right, you might have a chance here. He's just had enough overlap going into the corner and got up the inside pretty nicely through turn the penultimate corner. 4th position for McEwen. But that VL Commodore's going to be lurking in his mirrors. From his rear view to the side mirror, now into his blind spot, now in front of him, Riley Smith. Runs side by side through the first corner. And there's some bumping as well. Bit of attitude in all of it. Car 1 off the road. And just manages to get on ahead of Nick Mello, his fellow VK. Phil Fergs has gone into the rear quarter panel of Nick Mello and ended up spinning round. He's lost a couple of positions out of that and will be behind Max Spivey, Will Lambeth, and Chris Bradley's actually holding pretty strong in 10th place. As things begin to calm down towards this part of the field, but further back, it's absolutely on between Will Lambeth and Max Spivey. And I'll tell you what, at the front, Sam Sargason's really caught up. Look, that's the gap, only 7/10 of a second, 8/10. Through the last corner. Grabbed a little bit too much grass, did Sam there, as they come through down the main straight. I wouldn't have picked him for a race win today, but he's doing very well and could be on for it. Paddy Donnelly in front. There's only 6 laps remaining as they cross the line here. Good to see a steady amount of people watching all the way through. Appreciate it. Jack Meredith and John Elliott are both in the pit lane. They might have retired. I can double check that in a moment. Oh, up the inside. Sargason is going to grab the lead of the race. He's still got a slight overlap through the last corner. Side by side onto the main straight now. Sargason on the inside in the R31 and Paddy Donnelly on the outside in the Holden VL Commodore. But the VL's going to have more power. Even has the luxury of getting all the way across to the inside to defend. Massive serve up there through the first corner. Barely anything separates them. Sargason dives up the inside. He's going to be able to get through. Well, a fair bit of contact involved, but he managed to get through. And Cicluna is there as well. He's just appeared out of nowhere, it seems. And Alex McEwen isn't too far behind. Could have a grandstand finish to this one. But Sam Sargason leads a VRL race for the first time. As Paddy Donnelly runs second, Cicluna third, McEwen fourth, Riley Smith in fifth, Jack Callister sixth, Nick Mello, then Max Spivey, Will Lambeth and Chris Bradley still holding in 10th. See the sheer amount of curve is taking over that little chicane as Cicluna looks to fight Donnelly for second position, which may well leave Sargason to streak away a little bit. Only 3 to go as they come across the line. Well out into the grass is Daniel Cicluna, and I don't think he's going to be able to get a good enough run here. Still moves to the inside. Has a look. Could do it under braking. He runs side by side through the first corner and he's going to get there. If his line isn't too compromised. And he does. So into second place for our championship leader with Paddy Donnelly looking back. And he grabs a fair bit of curb through turn 3 and won't be able to quite get the position back. And McEwen's right there as well, so 3-way battle for second position, which could be a 4-way battle for first if something goes wrong up front. And now Donnelly has dropped another position to Alex McEwen this time, who slid past pretty easily. Tyre wear, I wonder, coming into effect. 2 to go for Sargason. Chance at his first win. There's been 23 different winners in VRL. And Sam Sargason is one lap away from becoming the 24th. One to go, and it's not over for second place at all, with McEwen looking up the inside of Cicluna. Barely anything separating them. And Paddy Donnelly will be cheering on the Volvo as well for a few more championship points taken away from Daniel. Both take an extraordinary amount of curve as they come through for the last time. Sam Sargason is out in front in the R31. He's got one last corner. As the two get absolutely sideways behind him. Sam Sargason will win a VRL race. Across the line, he takes race 10, and Cicluna will just edge ahead of Alex McEwen. Paddy Donnelly comes home in 4th, then it's Jack Callister with Nick Mello just behind, and this feels familiar. Nick Mello was just behind another car in the last race and couldn't quite get there. Max Spivey finishes 8th with Lambeth and Hill relatively nearby. Ricky Satchery in the Rover, trying to hold on to it through the last corner. He's not going to be able to, and smashes into the wall. Now, can he get? He should get across the line before Mangian rocks up, and it's going to be 17th place for him. So that's the end of that one. Sam starts pulling out the skids. Well done to him. Only 0.2 of a second separated Cicluna and McEwen at the line. There's a similar margin between Callister and Mello as well. So, thanks for watching this one. We are back in 2 weeks. Yeah, so we're having a short week off. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks for the 6th round at Calder Park. Only 4 rounds to go. So thanks for joining us at Surface Paradise. We'll see you then in 2 weeks.